B-boy.
Laughing our way to the bank. Bet on banks. Those haters that's not in our ranks. Send them our strength. Follow God and follow our saint. Learn his word and follow his maze. Father, me and wifey pulling our weight. Off of your grace, yeah, off of your grace.
What's up, B.O.B. Squad? It's your boy Terry.
And your girl Carmen.
And we are finally back with another video. I know it's been a minute. It's been almost 3 weeks now since we posted. And y'all read the title. Y'all see the title. So that's kind of telling y'all what's going on, what happened. But we just wanted to bring y'all a little story time. We both tested positive, so that's where we've been. We tested positive though. It's been we're out of quarantine and all of that. Everything is good, but it was a rocky road. It was a rocky road for a minute.
It was rough.
We was doing everything the way we should have. Social distancing, keeping our hands clean, keeping our bodies clean,
face mask,
our house clean, sanitize and all of that. And
I just say it's just part of God's plan. COVID been around for a year, and exactly a couple of weeks, it'll be a year that is done hit. I thought working around it daily with the sick patients that I would never bring it home, and I brought it home. But at least I do know where it came from.
Yeah,
so I was able to track
it. That's a positive. We were able to figure out exactly where it came from and who they've been around and who we've been around, because we still was kind of quarantined. We wasn't really going nowhere except for if we had to do something. Other than that, outside of that, we was in the house. So we were around only each other. But let's take it back to when it started.
January 25th. Actually, let's back up a couple of days. That Friday the 22nd, I went to work. I knew I didn't feel good. My body was aching, but the type of person I am, okay, I'm going to work. It was a half a day. I can get through these patients, get home, come home, get into bed. I slept that whole weekend. So Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. No church. Church was shut down. No energy.
And I was here. I felt fine. But in lieu of her sleeping, I was in a lazy mood. I'm like, she's gonna lay around and sleep all day. So I slept all day.
And I think that's how he caught it too.
Exactly, like a dummy.
Me having a fever, him sleeping under me, I just passed it on to him. Need to say, I went to the hospital.
Get your girl.
I went to the hospital that Monday the 25th. My oxygen level was 88. I'll tell you, if you cannot breathe, please, 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 please go to the hospital. It is not a fun feeling to try to take a deep breath and you cannot take a deep breath.
But you got to tell the whole thing. So that weekend, Carmen slept, like she said. You didn't go to work that Monday.
No, you did.
I still felt fine.
You didn't.
Yes, I did. I'm telling you, I did.
You were coughing. You had a cough.
Yeah, but it wasn't like, uh-oh. It wasn't like that kind of cough. Like, uh-oh.
His symptoms was totally different from mine.
So Carmen stayed home that day. She was feeling horrible. And I'm just saying to myself, like, oh, Lord, here we go with this stuff. Because I kind of knew that's what it was. But I guess I just didn't want to face it. So I got up. I went to work. Throughout the morning, I was feeling fine. And as I'm going throughout my day, I don't know, about 10 o'clock, I just got tired. I mean, just like out of nowhere. And normally at work, I burn through my day. I go through my day like super fast so I can get home. So I'm not one of them dudes that like to be at work all day, milking the clock and all of that. I like to go to work, do what I got to do, get out them people's face. So it was a couple stops that I was at where I had to just like sit down at the store and just take a deep breath and just kind of gather myself, because I just got super, super tired out of nowhere.
And
so
that's not us. We normally will go until we can't go no more.
Right. And I couldn't go no more. For me to sit down in a store and just be like, have to collect myself, I was like, okay, something ain't right here. So I finished my day, barely. barely. And it was so bad to the point where I was scared to drive my truck. I was kind of nervous to drive my truck back to our plant to clock out and all of that stuff. But I did anyway. I pushed myself. I made it all the way back to the north side.
But you still didn't have it when you checked in. You didn't have a fever. You didn't have none of that.
Before I pulled into the plant, because I kind of felt, I'm like, okay, Carmen's sick. I'm feeling like this. I didn't want to go into our plant and not knowing what was going on with me. So I called my supervisor outside the gate. I was like, hey man, this is what's going on. I need to know what to do. So he came out to the gate and met me and wiped all of my stuff down, took all my stuff, and he checked me in to where I didn't have to be in contact with nobody. And so I went home. I came home. By the time I got home, Carmen she was gone. You was.
I couldn't breathe. Last thing I remember, sitting on the side of the bed, feeling lightheaded. Kept telling Terry, I'm dizzy. I think I got vertigo. I cannot breathe. Not knowing what we was about to walk into. Vertigo is when you stand up, it's like your equilibrium is off. You go your body falls to the other side.
Oh.
My hair just felt like it was just going the opposite way from my body. From there, he got home. He didn't even change his clothes. He took me directly to the emergency room because when I say couldn't breathe, and I'm an asthmatic, so using my inhaler wasn't working, not knowing what was going on. My lungs felt like somebody had a lighter inside of them, burning them. So by the time I got to the ER, it was like the scariest thing for me because he couldn't go in with me. He was able to walk me into the door. They checked me in by myself.
Not even into the door.
Well, I guess the front door.
Yeah.
The front door of the ER, they checked me in, put me in a mask, sat me to the corner by myself, took my oxygen, and it said 88. As soon as it said 88, they took me to the back, put me in a room by myself. I saw nobody else for a week. I was in the hospital in a closed room, closed blind, me and the TV for 5 days.
5 days straight.
On oxygen. I lived on three liters of oxygen for 5 days. Thank God that they gave me, because it was so bad, because it turned into pneumonia, they gave me 5 doses of IV remdesivir fast, as well as steroids. I had to be on that for 5 days, just pushing fluid. Couldn't eat, really had no appetite. Like I said, I had a fever 102.
Tell me about the diarrhea.
Stop.
Got her.
I can laugh about it now because I lost 30 pounds from diarrhea. That was the side effect I had, not knowing I had COVID. Going to work, I didn't have a fever. I went to work, didn't even know I had it. Got to the ER, fever was 102. The fever broke after they started giving me medication. But like I said, 5 days in the hospital, I lost 30 pounds just from diarrhea because the virus has to come out of your body somehow. It's either going to come out through your mouth or through your bottom.
And she pooped it out. She pooped corona.
I can say going in the hospital on the 25th, exiting on January 29th. All this happened for some reason in God's plan. We don't know as of yet what's going on, but something good has to come out of something bad. We've been saying it for a year. So something's good is going to come out of it. And I can say almost 2 weeks later, I feel not 100% better, but I feel a whole lot better. My oxygen is back to 96%. I do have to use oxygen at home, but I try not to use it because I'm trying to force my lungs to work on their own.
They sent her home with an oxygen machine, pump, tank, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, they said I was supposed to use it for 2 weeks or until they discharge me, but I think I've used it since I've been home. I think I've used it a total of, I try to sleep with it.
She got a long hose, y'all. She got a long hose. Now what she be doing at night with it, that's a whole other story. She don't even be using it. I wake up before her and the whole one thing be wrapped around her ear, the other one be I don't know, around her forehead, and wrapped around her foot.
I
be
start
like,
out
what are
with
you
it.
doing?
I start out with my oxygen. They say I have to sleep with it because they have to record it. The machine records the oxygen levels. So far, since I've been home, my levels have not gone under 96, that's good. That means sooner or later they can discharge me off of the oxygen. I'm looking forward to go back to work in a couple of weeks. But you know, sometimes God slows you down just to relax and to reset. So I don't know exactly what, but he did that for us because we were just going nonstop.
So back to the story. So I took Carmen to the hospital that Monday, and I wanted to go get tested, but I was so worried about her that I didn't that day. So like she said, this is the scary part, and I hate kind of repeating it, but these hospitals, a lot of these hospitals in this area, I delivered to these hospitals. So by the receiving the dock where I parked my truck, almost every hospital in this area has like a big cooler. It's just a huge cooler, almost like the size of a trailer, a truck trailer.
It's a portable morgue.
It's exactly, that's exactly what it is. It's a portable, like I said, it's just
morgue for COVID patients.
You see the containers like on trains going by and stuff. It's just a big freezer, and it has nothing but COVID bodies in them. And I've been to the hospital delivering to where I see them rolling the bodies out of the hospital into the cooler, the freezer, or whatever you want to call it, the morgue. And it's always right next to the dock. So this hospital that we went to, the emergency room is right next to the receiving. So after I dropped Carmen off and they told me that I couldn't come in, I sat out there for hours. I sat there for hours.
4 hours.
And they finally called and said that they were, of course, going to admit her. So I was like, okay, I can't go in. There's nothing I can do here in this parking lot. So I went home, but as I'm leaving the emergency parking lot, I have to drive past that cooler.
The cooler.
The dead body cooler. So as soon as I drove by, I looked at it and I said, man, that could have potentially been the last time I ever saw my wife alive. So that hit me so hard. That hit me like a ton of bricks. I didn't let her know that, of course, because I didn't want to worry her or scare her or even scare myself more than I already was. So I went home and I put a picture up. We FaceTimed literally all week. She was the first, maybe 3 days. It was just rough.
When I say no energy, and then the nurses, I got to give it to them with them. I try myself being in healthcare. I try not to bother nurses when I'm in a hospital. I tried my best, and they kept saying, you need to call us for help. I didn't want no help because I'm that type of person to do for myself. And I'm so used to Terry being there for me, doing everything, to where I cried, I slept, stared out the window. All I had was neon signs to look at across the street at night. So that's, like I told him, that's how I passed my time, because I really was going crazy. No one can come see you. Nobody. The nurses come in gowned up looking like Martians to where it looked like you are really foreign and you are contaminated, but it's just hard having no contact with anyone. You're just in the room by yourself all day.
Even here, I had Lola, but I was lonely, y'all. That was a lonely week for me. Like she said, because any other time something happens and she has to go to the hospital, I'm right there all the time without fail. We
For
even
25 years from
we
day
acknowledged
one.
it. Yeah, I was like, man, this is the first time you've ever been in the hospital or to the
we've been
hospital,
separated.
and I couldn't be there with you. And it was like, man, this. So really, the point of us sharing this is, hopefully, it helps somebody that's maybe not taking this serious, or
I have a new
kind of
outlook
getting
now.
relaxed with everything that's going on. Man, y'all continue
Please.
to be safe out here, because this thing is real. And
It's different now.
It hit different when it
Happens
when
to
it's
you.
you personally.
Right.
So, I mean, I didn't even tell my side of the story. So, let's go back. The next Tuesday, the next day, I went and got that first thing in the morning. I went and got tested myself because I started feeling all this time I was feeling, like I said, just tired and fatigued, and I had a little slight cough. But the next day, I started having dizzy spells and hot flashes.
Headaches. He don't complain.
Headaches.
And he will not take medicine. For him to take medicine, I knew in the hospital, I told him, you got to go get checked.
Yeah,
I knew it was something.
I don't do the pills and all that. I don't. I just deal with it and battle through it. So like I said, the next day I went and got tested, and it came back positive. They said I had to come home and quarantine for 10 days, and man, like I said, that was a long 5 days with her, and then we had 5 more days. I had 5 more days that I had to just be in the house, no outside, no nowhere, no nothing. Luckily, we had just went grocery shopping, so we had some kind of groceries in the house. And then thank God for my mother-in-law, Carmen's mom. She came, just pulled up on me. I didn't even know it, with a gang of groceries. So shout out to her.
We appreciate it.
It was greatly appreciated. And here we are, man. We beat it. We made it through. We're super grateful. For me, it was a scare of a lifetime. I don't think I've never been that scared or worried.
And not just you, me.
See, and the biggest thing that I was worried about that I was worried that I was gonna be the one that brought it home, or bring it home. Because Carmen works in a doctor's office where she's there all day. She's in one spot, one location, one setting. Me, I'm out in public all day long. I'm in and out of different stores. People walking, people not social distancing. Store managers checking me in, not wearing a mask, and I have to ask them, "Hey man, to check me in, you got to put this mask on, or you just won't get this Coke product." So I've been in that situation. So I was worried I was gonna be the one, but nah, y'all.
It was me. I brought it, like I said, I know I brought it home from work. I just thank God that we're over it. We're recovering, and we're going to move forward, and everything from here is going to be positive. And
like I said, the point of us sharing this is, for one, to finally get back to y'all.
We've been missing you guys.
Absolutely.
We wanted to record, but we
ain't nobody had no energy. Wasn't nobody worried about no camera. We thought about y'all. We was thinking about y'all, for real.
And I have felt good. And actually, I felt good. I just took a picture when I got my hair cut off. I'm like, I'm doing it. This is a new year. It's a new me. New year, and I brought COVID home.
Yeah, big dummy.
So this ponytail, I'm gonna wash it later. We'll be back to a flat iron style, but I'm trying to get myself back together. I'll look good in a few days by the next video.
So like I said, the point of us sharing this or making this video was to emphasize the severity of us being safe. It's super important that we are out here doing what we're supposed to do. wearing our masks all the time. Anytime you in public, put that mask on. I know it's uncomfortable. It's hard to breathe. I work hard. My job is very labor driven. I'm moving. It's a physical job, so I know it's hard to breathe in that mask. But man, we gotta do it. We
for
gotta
your
do
own
it.
safety.
The bottom line to this is, we see it on the news all day, and we take it to heart, and we're sad about other people's situations, but people are dying from this. People are dying, like checking out forever. And it like I said before, it hits different.
Yeah.
It hits different when you're potentially in that space, that gray area where you just don't know how it's gonna go. It can go this way or it can go that way. So once again, be safe, y'all. Be safe, BOB Squad. Man, if you're new to the channel, if this is y'all's first time watching us, go ahead, hit that subscribe button and become a part of the BOB Squad. Turn on your post notifications, and leave us a comment. Anything. If you got any questions about some of our symptoms, something that we didn't touch, if you want to know anything, if we have the information about it,
we'll get
in
it
relation to COVID-19 or the coronavirus, whatever y'all want to call it, this thing that's plaguing the world,
it's not going nowhere.
Drop it in the comment sections and we'll answer it to the best of our ability, because like I said, you just don't know till you've been there and you've experienced it. So if anybody has any kind of questions that might help somebody else, it might help yourself, it might help somebody in your family, it don't matter. If you got a question that we
might have the answer. No question is a dumb question. So even if it's something you think you know and you don't know.
Disagree, but
what? No.
That's a whole nother
No, because
you asked some pretty dumb questions. So let's not. That's a whole nother video. If y'all have any questions,
he's almost back to himself. You see the jokes?
Anything? Uh-oh. Social distance. You better distance. I'm 6 feet. I need 7 feet.
7.
But like I said, man, this is real. We plan, but it's real. I can't stress that enough. Like I said, if y'all have any questions, drop them in the comment section. Y'all know we respond to y'all. Once again, if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button, turn on your post notifications, become part of the BOB Squad. Get this video a like for us beating the coronavirus.
And we are back.
Where are we back to?
We back to record. We record once a week.
Yeah, man, we back, y'all. We ain't really go nowhere. I mean, we just...
We did. We
got shut down for a minute.
So we back.
So we back.
We said that last time, but this time we for real. We back.
We back, y'all. And we beat the virus. Boom. Let's go. We out.
Laughing our way to the bank. Only one man is getting all things. Only one man.